Welcome back to Duty's Daggers. This is not a knife video, this is a motorcycle trip that I took recently with a friend up to San Francisco and across the Golden Gate Bridge. This is kind of a way to get you guys to go subscribe to my other channel, my secondary channel, where I do mostly motorcycle rides and things like that. It's kind of the catch-all for anything not knife related that I do that I want to film. So head over there and subscribe, that'd be cool. So this is my buddy Dustin, he's also a knife guy. Met him through the channel actually, and it just so happens that he lives in the same town that I do, and we started riding together a little while back. We both are relatively new to riding in the last 3-4 years, and had never gone on like a longer ride, so we figured this was a pretty good one to for our first ride. We spent the night in Half Moon Bay. This is the next morning, which is kind of where the video starts, because this is where all the cool stuff, the cool views are up in the coast of Northern California. It was a cheap hotel, little, Comfort Inn or whatever it was called, but it was clean. It rained during the night, so our bikes were soaking wet. We tried to dry it off the seats as well as we could, but there seemed to be some residual moistness in there, so our asses were wet for a lot of the morning, unfortunately, but it wasn't too bad. Luckily the rain had stopped, and we didn't get more than just a little sprinkle, and it might have been just heavy fog. I don't even know if it was actually rain. But neither of us have really ridden in wet conditions before, so we were taking it slow at the beginning here, just kind of getting a feel for, the lean angles that we felt comfortable with on a wet road and all that kind of thing. It was really foggy most of the time, but it was still pretty. My visor kept fogging up, so I had to leave it open a crack, get some airflow in there. I'm riding my 2023 Harley Softail Standard. It's my second bike and first Harley. I started riding a Honda Shadow, which was about a year and a half ago. I haven't been riding that long. Rode that for about a year, and then decided I wanted something made in the U.S. with something a little more power, and of course everything that comes with owning a Harley, just the look, the sounds it makes, just the overall feel of it. I wanted all those things, and man, yeah, I fell in love with riding even more once I got on the Harley. This is Highway 1, which we were on for most of the time. Unfortunately, the Highway 1, which goes through Big Sur, which is probably the most beautiful coastline in the world, maybe, at least in the U.S. Part of that road is closed right now because of a landslide, so we were not able to take the Highway 1 through Big Sur, which would have been really cool. Instead, we had to take the 101 up to Monterey and then get on the Highway 1 from there. So here we are. This is our first tunnel on the way to the Golden Gate Bridge. We are up near Pacifica area. And this was a really long tunnel. I think this was the longest tunnel I've ever been in. Just kept going. My exhaust sounded so loud in here too, it was almost making my chest vibrate. So yeah, this was definitely the coolest leg of the trip, which is from Half Moon Bay up to the Golden Gate Bridge. Whoa. Trippy. Yeah, the tunnel is still going. That's not edited. That's the length of the tunnel. Finally come out the other side. There was a lot of tunnels on this trip, I think 4 or 5 total. Now we kind of come through this little foresty area. Got some redwoods, I think, in there. This was a pretty steep downhill. You can't really tell, but we were taking it slow, especially around the turns with the wet road and everything. And we come out of that kind of down into a little city here. Not city, little town. I forget what it's called. And then we got into kind of the outskirts of San Francisco. This is, I believe it was 19th Avenue or something, 19th something. Kind of driving past these iconic San Francisco houses, you know, all the way up here. And then we go through a little more foresty area before we get to the bridge. And here's the second tunnel. Getting pretty close to the bridge now. Another pretty long one. I've driven over the Golden Gate Bridge a long time ago. I must have forgotten all about the tunnels because I had no idea. I had switched to my warmer gloves pretty early on in the trip this morning, or this day. They're okay. They're really warm, but they're kind of bulky, so it kind of makes your hand a little bit achy and sore because you're having to kind of grip harder than you would with thinner gloves. There's just less feel of the handlebars when you're wearing thick gloves like that. So I'd like to find kind of a happy medium between warmth and still being able to kind of feel the grips. And as you come around that turn, there you see it, Golden Gate Bridge. This is pretty early in the morning, so traffic was not bad at all. I think by the time we got to the bridge, it was probably around 8 o'clock, 7:45-ish. Now they're actually able to move the median on the Golden Gate Bridge. There's 6 lanes total, but if there's heavier traffic flow north, they'll actually they have this little truck thing that moves the median over 1 lane, so they can actually have 4 lanes going northbound and only 2 southbound. Pretty crazy. When we went across the bridge, it was 3 and 3. But you can kind of see on the median there on the left, it's kind of like segmented. That's because it's able to move. Kind of neat. We were just cruising across the bridge. It was really cool. Obviously, feels much larger in person. Just cruising in 3rd gear. My buddy Dustin was in the lead for most of the trip because he's better with directions than I am. I really have a pretty bad sense of direction, so he's kind of the navigator and I'm the follower. this is the end of the bridge. Now our destination is a little breakfast spot in Sausalito, which is the town right after the bridge. You can still see that segmented median there. I think you're gonna see the little vehicle. I made a cut before you got to it. The vehicle device thing that moves the median was a kind of a big yellow truck-looking thing. And here's the third tunnel. Looks like we're going into hyperspace. It was foggy, but you could still see pretty well around, around the general area. We were able to get a pretty good glimpse of Alcatraz Island as well from the bridge. So here we get off the highway and take this little windy road down into the Sausalito neighborhoods. And here it is. With the yellow awning there, that's Fred's place. Little breakfast spot that's been there since 1966. We're hungry, our asses are wet, but we're excited because that was just a beautiful leg of the journey. I don't know why I'm getting that weird seam in the footage there. I'll have to figure that out.
Yeah. I guess it kind of like soaks in the leather a little bit or something. I don't know. Yeah.
Some outdoor tables there. Fred's. I don't actually know if it's called Fred's Place. It said that on Google Maps, but then on the awning it just says Fred's. We decided to take the 101 all the way back because it was going to be a little bit quicker. And I didn't know this. The 101 actually kind of goes through part of downtown San Francisco. You go across Market Street and Mission as well. This was kind of a fun little cruise through the city. A lot of stoplights, but some interesting buildings to look at. San Francisco definitely has a certain smell to it. As soon as we got into this area, I started to smell San Francisco. Can't really put my finger on what it smells like exactly, but it's a distinct smell. I don't know what building this is, but it's pretty cool. Also, this kind of cylindrical building. Oh, it says something symphony on it. I don't know. After that little jaunt through the city, we got back on the highway. This part was a little crazy with all the, just a lot of cars, you know. Not very much traffic though. I think we only hit maybe 15 minutes of traffic, which we lane split through part of. And here we are, just ripping in the carpool lane. Going about 85, just tearing past cars. It was fun. And that's about it. We were on the 101 the rest of the way home. Took about 5 hours to get back, maybe a little less. Definitely tired when I got back. My ass was sore, my back was sore, but I'm ready for my next ride already. Thanks for watching.